Well, hello all. It's been a couple of weeks and I really miss seeing you guys. I mean that. Um, let's talk about what Friday's class is going to be about. We're winding down the semester and we talked a lot about, mindsets, and we talked a lot about exploring through our college career. We call it thriving. And what does thriving mean? Does thriving just merely mean surviving? Or is it a road to success? No one just wants to survive. We went through a lot of different things in our course. We talked about anything from adapting to a classroom culture to adapting to a school culture to balancing work life. Um, and we talked a lot about the psychology of learning, and then we also talked about the evolution of learning. Learning has so many different meanings and so many different respects. But I think the most important thing about learning is about making ourselves holistic. And I know in class we talked about Maslow's pyramid, hierarchy of needs. What do we need to get to where we need to go in that next step? A lot of you are returning from school after being out a few years. A lot of you are just contemplating on where you want to go next. First, people thought about changing their jobs every 4 or 5 times in a lifetime. Now they talk about doing the same with careers. People have decided, well, I don't want to be doing what I'm doing anymore. I want to be doing something else because I'll feel fulfilled and I'll feel holistic about that. I feel like I'm going to be accomplishing what I really want to accomplish. Then you turn around and you look back on everything and you say, well, is that really me? Do I actually see myself in a new role? Do I see myself in a new venture and exploring areas that I've never been to before? How well am I prepared to go into that next part of my life? What will I have to sacrifice? A lot of times in class, I mention things like opportunity cost. What is it that I'm giving up to make the choice that I'm making? And I think one of the most significant things is that often we get out of our comfort zones. It's scary to do that. As much as some things, people say what they do is boring. The thing is, they like boring because they don't have to get out of a place that they know they feel safe in. And the thing is, they'll always say, well, I know I could do better. I'm bored at what I do. I wish I could do more. And we can always find excuses to not come out of that comfort zone. We were talking to Georgina, and, she gave us so many avenues of networking and talking to different people and talking about things like LinkedIn and stuff like that. And then we had Elizabeth Doe, who was wonderful in our library. We have access to so many wonderful resources. But do we use them? We just talk about them and say, okay, they're nice, take notes, and don't go anywhere with it. I think, having resources is one thing and using resources is something else. So, this next chapter, we're going to talk about career exploration, preparation, and development and thriving. And this is a really important chapter because it talks about where is that next step for us? Where do we want to go in our careers? More importantly, what do we have to balance to sacrifice to get to where we need to go? So these are things that have to do with preparation and development of our lives. Yeah. I mean, this isn't just an exercise in something in the book. This is about your life and where you want to transition from there. And also, it's important to know that you're building a legacy. Whatever it is that you're doing, you're leaving something behind that is extremely significant. Picture yourself in that role that you want to get into. Take a look at the mirror and say, I am going to do this and I'm going to sacrifice what I need in order to get it done. If it's not worth that much to you, you just will not come out of your comfort zone. You'll forever find excuses to say, you know what? It sounded good at the time, but I don't think so. I'm done. And you walk away. Well, if that's really you, there's no point in this discussion. But if it's not you, then you're going to get into your mindset book and look at some of the stories and things, the psychology that goes behind learning. You don't have to be sitting in a schoolroom to learn. You can learn anywhere. But a structured environment that gives you resources to get where you want to go is what's being offered to you. And you should use those resources to your advantage. So, on that note, this next assignment you're going to have will be an individual assignment. It'll be in your modules, and it'll be due the first week of December. And it'll be worth 15 points. And I want you to write a 3 to 5 page double-spaced paper. And I want you to write about your evolution, your career, the preparation to get there, and more importantly, what are you going to do in your work-life balance to get there? What are you going to have to give up? What is going to be your opportunity cost to achieve your goals? Again, we can always find excuses, but then we can also find solutions. So, I want you to basically format this paper in 3 sections. One is where you were. The second section is where you are now. And the third section is based on your education and your resources, where you're going and how you're going to get there, and put a time value line on it. How long will it take you to get where you want to go? And then a few years from now, you look back at this paper and say, oh my God, that's where I want to be. And I did it. So again, this will be due the first Friday in December. And then the only thing we really have left is the final and maybe one other short paper that I'm actually going to have you do in class, maybe 2 short papers. And we'll leave a certain portion of class for that, and then you can pass it in. They'll just be short essays. And then we're done. Okay, so I will see you Friday at noontime. Don't forget, you got an assignment that you owe me over the holidays, so I'm looking forward to correcting that. Take care.